You are all creating this new paradigm. All of you right now with what you do. You might be saying, who, little me? I have nothing. I can't do anything. I can't even get my computer to work correctly. But it's not true. Everything you do, especially everything you do with conscious, loving, balanced self-awareness, propels the entire species, the entire planet to this new vibrational state. So keep doing what you're doing, especially if you are living to the best of your ability, always. That is the most important thing. Many people ask us, well, I don't know my purpose. I don't know how to make it that way. I don't know how to be of service. You be of service by being the best you can be in each and every moment, and that's all you need to do. Trust that your higher self is leading you in the most perfect way. So, what is going to happen? Well, very quickly, in this time, in this timeline, in this incarnation, you are going to start to see a lot of very fast moving changes. It might look like something is moving towards a catastrophe. It might look like there are several things that might be very frightening to see, but it's not true. That is just a judgment, all right? In all of life, in all of creation, everything has neutral value until you, the observer, applies a value to it. And for the most part, if you're doing that subconsciously or on autopilot, those values are assigned via your past experiences, your past indoctrinations to belief systems, and your agreements with groups. However, you have free will. All beings do, and you can choose what it is you assign as a value. We use this analogy an awful lot. Two people can be standing on the seashore, and one is absolutely ecstatic, in love with the ocean, in a blissed out state because they are so close to the waters of life. The other person standing next to them is terrified because they lived through a tsunami, but their families were destroyed, as were their homes and their village. They're terrified of the ocean. So it's very contingent upon each person. It's very important that you spend time consciously assigning value. When you do assign value, i.e., you judge something, don't judge automatically. Get out of that old paradigm. It no longer is useful, and it is not something you take with you to the next level. And in fact, you never take any of this stuff with you that holds you back into this paradigm, such as duality, judgment, the lower vibrational states of emotion. All you take with you are the higher vibrational states. So try to stay in that as much as possible. And look for the gifts. What do we mean by that? There are infinite gifts hidden like little Easter eggs in every experience. No matter how dark, no matter how difficult, no matter how complex, no matter how perplexing, gifts everywhere. It is up to you to be open and accepting that all is well, no matter what. It's a tough order, but you're up to it. Accept that all is well, no matter what, in every moment. And when you can do that, you free up a lot of energy in your being. And when you free up that energy, your vibrational state rises. And when it rises, you are able to perceive things you never were able to perceive before. And guess what? The gifts are everywhere, and you start to see them. And you not only see them, but you recognize them for gifts. And when you can align yourself with the recognition of the gifts and the understanding of what they mean to you, and you give yourself open permission to receive them, that's when the world cracks its cosmic egg open and moves up another level. You and you and you, all of you, do this collectively and individually. As we said before, no one is listening to this and participating in this adventure right now by mistake. You all came here because you have a similar frequency, a similar soul purpose. You are the gifters. And now you get to receive the gifts yourself. So, one of the gifts is the gifts of healing. And when we say healing, we don't mean it in a human way, although it can be taken that way. Most humans think healing means the cessation of pain or suffering in some way, or the resolving of a problem. But really what healing is aligning yourself to the truth in the most divine, high energy way. And not only aligning yourself with it, but having pure clarity, pure understanding, and the ability and the purpose, the self-responsibility of utilizing that gift, of sharing it. Healing is about alignment, and that is all. Healing is about alignment without judging what is happening. If you have pain or suffering or difficulty, you might say, I need to heal that. And you might be limiting the way the healing occurs because you have a preconceived notion of what that looks like. If you have a broken leg and you want it healed, most people envision the leg being set and perfectly strong and working again, right? And that's fine. But if you have a broken leg and you ask for complete healing, that means you align yourself to the purpose for why you broke the leg and what all of the effects around you are because of that. And when you can really start to encompass that greater energy, maybe you don't understand all of it. Maybe you don't want to take time to actually evaluate it. And in fact, that kind of holds everything back. Just stay open, accepting, and say, I know the gift is here and I accept it. And then act as if it's happened. And you'll start to see things falling into place. Look for the gifts, though. What are some of the gifts around you right now in some of the darkest situations? You don't have to think about it right now, but we ask you to ponder that in the coming days, because there will be some dark things happening. We're not going to lie. Humans are humans, and humans are going to human until they come up a notch in their frequency. But humans will come very close to causing a great cataclysm in the near future. Don't be afraid. Look for the gift. Because when you push each other towards the edge of a cliff and nobody falls over, and you all realize just how much you like each other, and you hug and pull each other back and decide you're going to do something with the edge of the cliff that's really great, that's where the gift is. So look for the gift everywhere and know that they exist. Know that you put them there ahead of time, just like you put us where we are ahead of time, and you weren't even aware of it up until now. So look for the gifts everywhere. Also, remember not to judge, because judgment holds you back from finding the gifts. Judgment holds you back from aligning with the healing, with the growth, with the goodness. Don't judge things. That's an old third dimensional earthling paradigm that no longer serves anybody. Accept, have an adventure, see with wider eyes, see with open hearts, see with more aligned consciousness. And we're with you every step of the way. So today, what we're going to do is give you an experience in a few moments where you're going to get really relaxed, and we are going to help kind of tune you into the ability to perceive the gift and to know how to utilize them. And to get past that little kind of threshold that a lot of you keep kind of crossing over and then falling back over. It's kind of like the default human paradigm keeps pulling you back because it's so familiar. It's really hard not to get pinned in this reality, but you're finished with it. You know you are, or you wouldn't be here today. So we're going to help you turn on some switches, if you will. And those switches are going to allow you to have a lot more power, not just in your consciousness, not just in your heart, but in your physical DNA. Because we want that physical body to be able to handle, capacitate that energy so that you can have a great experience here on Earth. You still have stuff to do here before you create a newer version. You're already creating it. Got one toe in every one. But soon you're going to step over the threshold for good. And when you do, leave behind everything that's no longer needed. And that's what we're going to help you with today. We hope you will enjoy the experience. We admonish you to get very relaxed, to stay open, to just enjoy and receive for once. Most of you are so good at gifting others. It's time for you to receive. And so we thank you for listening to the message. We know it may be esoteric to some of you, but it will start to make more sense and more sense and more sense in the coming days. And your world will change because you have reminded yourself of what you are doing now to make things better. All right, so if you all will just get comfortable. If you wish to turn your cameras off, you may, or you can keep them on. It doesn't matter one way or the other. Our partner is going to play some music to help you get more comfortable. But what we really want you to do is just to relax. Get in any relaxed position you can. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And if you aren't already practicing breath work and meditation, once our partner publishes this recording, there will be some links to help you practice that on your own, because those are the bridges between the physical world and the world that you're creating that's much more wonderful than you could ever imagine. Take a deep breath or two now. Close down your eyes. Relax your body. Scan your body with that very, very wise inner being. Notice if there's any tightness or gripping anywhere, and allow yourself to let go. The tightness is a response to fear. And you know, dear family, there is nothing ever to fear, because you are everything. You created it all, you have control of it all, and you can enjoy it all. You are infinite and unlimited. Let go. Let go. Let go and be free. And as you do, we ask you to surround yourself with whatever form of high vibrational energy you can imagine. Some like to surround themselves with white light, or a crystal pyramid, or an iridescent orb of love and light. Let yourself be engulfed in this beautiful, protective, empowering energy. It's like a force field that kind of keeps out the lower vibrational states while you experience the higher octaves. Feel the warmth, feel the sparkle, feel the invigoration of this light. Let nothing distract you from the journey we're going to take together. For you have asked for this, and we have answered. Now find yourself in a light state of being. Your body will rejuvenate itself and undergo some wonderful physical upgrading while your consciousness, your loving heart travels with us. It might seem that you're still in a body traveling, and that's fine. Whatever helps you to visualize better and experience more perfectly. But for now, just feel light, airy, like a mist rising up out of your body. You still have a semblance of your form, but it's loosening up and leaving on a journey. As a group, we journey now up, up, up. And together we now find ourselves in a beautiful crystal environment. Some of you might perceive it as a ship, a craft. Others of you might envision it as a temple or a cavern or a sanctuary. Let your own experience develop with our words. Excellent. Now, in this beautiful crystal environment, allow yourself to become aware that you are resting on a levitating sort of slab or bed made of purest crystal. The essence and the vibrational frequencies that are coming through your being from this bed are immense. They are almost too much pleasure to handle, but you can. And we help you to accept this, to saturate yourself with this energy. For some, it may serve as a sort of med bed for you. For others, just a beautiful, very soft, pleasing place to rest in trusting, compassionate kindness. And we, the teachers, surround you. Only you know what we look like to your energetic eyes. But we look like you in a high, beautiful, pure form. See us surrounding you now. And remember that you requested this procedure. You've been waiting all your life for this moment. And you see us as beautiful, pseudo-human forms with no real features, just glassy crystal with galaxies and universes, shooting stars, colors moving through us. And you see us with our beautiful, long and slender arms, hands and fingers. Reach out in the circle around you and form a circle of connected group energy with our hands Our hearts light up with intense beauty, like the great central sun. All our hearts are alight, as is yours. And the light moves through each one of us, amplified like a laser beam, the center over your heart from our hands. And with the next breath, that light moves into your heart. Like the most pleasurable explosion of deep ecstasy, it spreads to every part of your being. Universes upon universes upon universes are created within each of your atoms, within each version of your infinite self that you carry in your own cellular material of your body and in your energy field. Feel it. This energy goes to balance. Where things are a little too high and frenetic yet, it pulls it back and refines it, polishes it. Where the energy is a little low, a little spiky, a little timid, it's lifted and amplified, restored. You begin to feel waves of bliss flowing through you, like that sea. And the waves move back and forth, in and out, and in all directions and dimensions of your being. And as you take in this energy, we receive from you. You being the central channel of a toroidal field created by the circle, and you as its center. This light moves, amplifies, and energizes, and harmonizes. And what's happening in this form of your being is occurring in all levels of your being: the physical, the emotional, the vibrational, the etheric, the causal, spiritual, and so on. You are receiving it all in the most perfect way you could ever receive it. And you relax more deeply than ever before. And as you do, we stay connected, but you lift up off of the crystal bed and you look around this beautiful environment. You've received your ability to hold energy at a higher level and to utilize it for the greatest good. But now we all form a circle, and we connected our hearts, and then we all hold our hands. In this environment, we are one. And in this space, we agree with each other to allow for those switches, those gifts within our being that were perhaps dormant or turned to the off position to now become activated and to constantly be receiving the needed assistance to stay balanced and harmonized so that you can utilize them wisely, so that you can find the gift in every situation. Because when you find gifts, you're happy. When you get enough gifts, you want to share. And when you do these things, in joy, love, in open acceptance, you create the highest vibrational field, and the world begins to change for the better. All because you decided to give yourself permission to find and share the gifts. Allow yourself to go deeper now and allow the program to become embedded. I program myself to always look for, find, recognize, acknowledge, accept, understand, and wisely and perfectly utilize the gifts that are associated with each and every experience and situation. And I focus on looking for and utilizing these gifts instead of judging the situation or the people involved. Your mission, the one you came here for, is opening to you now. Your mission is simply that. Find the gifts in everything. Receive them joyfully and gratefully. Share them generously, unconditionally, with great love and joy. This is how you create, eventually, the world where we exist. And you do not have to wait for millions of years to enjoy what we enjoy. For you are us, and we are you. All you have to do is shift your vibrational state, and your perception will hone in on that reality. And if you so choose, it will become your reality of focus. For reality is nothing more than what you focus on in a sustained and durable way. Don't be afraid to share. There's enough for everyone. Infinite supply, infinite goodness. And even the most dire seeming of situations is actually really a gift. It's up to you to see it with new eyes. Once again, feel yourself traveling along a light beam filled with energy and love. Find yourself in that environment that you were so enjoying, but maybe in another part of the hologram. Take a few minutes to merge in silence with us. Receive personal gifts that only you can know. Open up to all of it. Don't judge any of it. Enjoy your journey, and we'll call you back when the time is right. And then begin to notice that as a group, there is a golden, sparkling trail of light circling us. It ties our hearts together. It infuses us with its light, with its goodness. And it seeks out the heart center of each of us. Within your heart center, you begin to notice new feelings of tenderness, deeper understanding, a higher level of abilities, not just your physical abilities, but the non-physical abilities that are your greater gifts. All of them are leveling up right now, and your body will be able to handle that energy perfectly. And that light circles through the mind and assures you that you cannot make a mistake, that you are always in alignment. And then you begin to find yourself coming back into your current life reality environment, floating like that beautiful formless mist above your beautiful human body, what we call a spacesuit. Take a good look at it with your third eye. See it for what it really is. An accessory, but an extension of your holy self. Now imbued with so many extra gifts and so much energy, so much peace, so much wisdom. And vow to use this gift in the most harmonious, most beautiful way, consciously, each and every moment. Begin to filter down and embed yourself within the spacesuit. All of you, every speck of your being. And notice that it feels just fine. It's roomy, it's expansive, it fits perfectly. It's pleasing and beautiful. It is in perfect working order. And its onboard operating system and software have both gotten a huge upgrade as well. All the systems have. And so we will encourage you as you become more aware of your inhabitants, your existence in this spacesuit. We encourage you to take it for a test drive soon and enjoy all the new features. Don't be afraid of them. So begin to come back knowing that we are always with you. We can't help it. We are you. All you have to do, raise your vibrational state by thinking about something wonderful, something happy, something loving, and feeling it in your bones, and we are there. Always to help, always to guide, never to interfere, never to do your work for you, but always there to point the way and applaud you as you race past towards the finish line. So begin to come all the way back into your beautiful body and allow yourself to feel the gravitational embrace of Mother Earth surrounding you and holding you close to her heart. Feel her essence, her frequency. Feel us. Feel everything and know it's you. Then begin to notice the outside environment again, the temperature of the air, the sounds in the room, the heart beating and the blood pumping. And begin to wiggle the fingers and toes and flutter your eyelashes, stretch and yawn. And as you come all the way back from this journey, know you can revisit that beautiful sanctuary anytime you like, just by thinking of the word gift. But for now, we bid you welcome. Come into the open forum, and we will begin to take your questions and converse with you openly. In Lakesh, we are another you. All right, dear friends, so we are back. Hopefully you enjoyed that experience, and we can't wait to hear, maybe in your sharing time, what you experienced, or answer any questions that you might have about the experience or anything else on your mind. So the floor is open for interaction with us, and all you need to do is just use the raised hand function. Raise your hand if you have a question or comment, or if you don't know how to do that, turn your camera on and just wave, and our partner will call on you. Jesse has a raised hand. Jesse, go ahead. Turn your mic on, and we would love to hear what you have to say. Jesse, can you unmute yourself?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know how from my phone. I just wanted to say thank you. And it was nice being here with you guys.
Oh, thank you,
Everyone.
Jesse. Your
Thank
spirit is
you.
so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We have to just also just say to this, all of you who are here, your energy is so beautiful, and combined, it is unstoppable. Jesse, thank you for bringing it up, and we love you. Anyone else? Are you all still on the spaceship? See. Oh,
Thank you, Debs. Love you.
thank you, Stacy. Joey, we're going to call on you first. How can we be of service?
Hi, Debs. Nice to see you.
Hi.
So long, hasn't it?
All the way from Tasmania.
All the way from Tassie, yeah.
And it's early in the morning there, eh?
Yeah, it's 8:30 now.
Oh, wow. Thank you for joining us. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. It's
Yeah.
lovely to see you too. And yeah, that was beautiful. I just went so deep into that.
You do good work. You do good work.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was great. I was somewhere else completely. And Leroy was right there. Hang on a second. Come here. He needs to say hello always.
Oh, hello, beautiful, beautiful creature. Oh, hello.
Leroy always joins in the meditations.
Yes, yes. Love it. Hello, Leroy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on the planet right now, too. We see you as a huge anchor of energy, especially holding space for that very tumultuous place where you reside. So we thank you and we honor you for that. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your work too, Debs. It's
Yeah.
amazing that you always seem to just hold this amazing level of energy yourself, and you help so many people.
Ah, thanks.
Your
Well, that's what we're
purpose.
all here for, isn't it? That's what we're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Oh, much love
Thank
to you. Thank you so
you.
much. Keep doing the good work down there. Thank you. Okay, so we will ask Dan Schrader. Hello, Dan.
Hello. That was so beautiful.
Oh,
And I just wanted to kind of pop on and say thank you. And I love you. And I love the STAR teachers. And I love everyone here. And I'm so appreciative. I felt this beautiful energy within me as we were doing that. A lot throughout the whole thing. And in particular at some moments when like when you said about the golden energy and it was flowing through the group and such, there was like this amazing powerful energy inside me and in my heart that was very beautiful, and it was very special for me, and I just wanted to express my gratitude to you and to everyone, and so thank you very much.
oh, thank you, dear brother Dan. And listen, for those of you who are not aware of some of the people on here, I highly suggest before you leave this transmission, if you want to keep in touch with people and you want to make new friends, high level friends, including Dan and Joey and Jesse and all the people on here, just put your name or your email address or whatever in the chat, and we'll save the chat and publish that with the recording if you want that. But these people are wonderful to make friends with and to interact with. Each one of you have something connected with another. So thank you very much. Anyone else? Questions, comments,
Me,
interjections?
Susan.
Oh, hi, Sue. Yes. Hello, Susan.
This was a
Hello.
great group. So
Yes.
energetic and beautiful. I appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're super
It's
happy
great
to
energy.
have you with us.
I'm great to be here. I'm very, very grateful. There's a few familiar faces. Good to see you again.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of familiar faces, lots of new faces. So always so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just looking around at the names right now, and what I see are every one of the people on here have special gifts, are super important to get to know. I really do invite you to even just take a screenshot and then go look these people up and make friends
I
with
could
them.
really feel it when you talked about the golden string, the ribbon, that it was amazing and it was so strong in this group.
Well, what we want to remind you, thank you for that, but what we want to remind all of you is what comes out of our partner's mouth during these transmissions and during the journey especially, that's you talking to yourself. That's you creating all of that. So what you experienced came from you, came from that other frequency of you. So if you experience something beautiful, give yourself a pat on the back and then remember the feeling of it and give yourself more.
Yeah. More.
More,
Thanks, Deb.
always. Thank you so much, Susan. Love you so much.
I love you too, girl.
Stacy, your mic is off. Did you want to say something else?
Is it off?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's on.
Oh,
Sorry, the mute's
okay.
off. We just,
No, I must have turned it on by accident. I just very grateful. Just leaving a little chat to everyone.
oh,
Thank you
wonderful.
for participating and the STAR teachers, and
Oh,
sending you all love.
thank you for being here. Your beautiful face. It's always so wonderful. It's always so healing to see you.
Oh, you're sweet.
So
Thank you.
great. Every one of you, even just seeing your names is just making my heart burst. So, anybody have any questions? Michelle, yeah?
Hello, hello. I just wanted to say thank you very much for the meditation. It was really beautiful. Got a lot out of that. I was exhausted coming from work, and now like it feels a lot better now. So I just wanted to say thank you very much to you and the STAR teachers.
Oh, thank you, darling friend. And again, we just want to remind you, you did it. It's you. Whatever you received, whatever you experienced, that came from you. I don't even remember any of it. So I can't wait to listen to the recording and have the experience myself. But I'm so glad that you feel better. I know that you had a long work day today, and you've had a really long road the last few weeks. So
I sure have.
I'm so glad you decided to come after such a long day. Thank you so much. Much
Thank
love.
you.
Much love. Anyone else? Julana, did you want to say something?
Hi there.
Hi,
Yeah.
babe. How are
Hey.
you?
Good. Yeah, I mean, the thing I most recently learned about was the poles shifting. So I'm probably behind the times here.
It's been happening for a while.
Yeah, like 150 years and like it's speeding up, but for some reason it's been in my feed and it's been sent to me. And yeah, it was kind of interesting to hear about.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any
Yeah.
questions about it, or are you just, it's just something new that you're following and experiencing? And
I remember you talking about how the worlds were pulling apart, and I thought it had something to do with that. And because I remember you talking about that long time ago, but
many
I
years
don't
ago.
I don't
Yeah.
pay attention to the news or anything like that. So it has to literally be like slammed in my face for me to know. Well, I could join this astrology group, and of course it has to do with, astronomy and stuff like that. And that's when it came into my awareness. And so I guess the question is, it's not going to affect us, right? Like, I believe it's not going to affect us, but if it does, it's going to be okay.
It affects, everything affects each person uniquely, depending on
Yeah.
where they are in their vibrational state, in their sustained vibrational state. So, everyone varies in their vibrational state trillions of times a second. But for the most part, what makes up what we call your personality signature, it has kind of a template of vibrational state there that doesn't waver from too much unless it decides to change its belief system or its experience, consciously. So you've become aware of the pole shifts, and what we can say is, it's up to you how it affects you or doesn't affect you as far as your vibrational state. And again, what value you decide to assign to that circumstance or set of circumstances, or if you even assign a set of values to it at all. Really, if you look at the ancient spiritual traditions, what we call ancient future spiritual traditions on your planet, what we can say is most of them have an undercurrent of a message that says, pick the middle way, stay neutral, be the observer, don't get pulled into the stream, okay? It's okay if you want to, you're here to experience, but you can watch all of this. You can see all of it. It's like you're looking out of the visor of your spacesuit. You can see it, and you might even be effective emotionally if you choose to be, but it's not going to affect you, how should we say, physically or experientially, unless you decide you want to participate in whatever that value is that you're assigning to it. Does that make sense? So it's all on you.
I figured that. That's what I've been practicing doing, is being the observer in
Good.
most every situation, except like taking care of my mom. That's really difficult to be the observer.
It can be a very taxing thing. We'll send you some energy along those lines. A lot of people, especially on this live transmission, are going through that time of life where they're caregiving a parent or an elderly relative, and it can be very difficult to separate yourself from to maintain that selfness and that neutral
the-
observer, right? Because you're constantly having to react to things, right?
Yes.
But try to think about shifting that to responding to what's going on instead of reacting. Because
Sure.
responding means you're doing it consciously with some forethought. So take a couple of breaths before you act in all of those things. And it should go a little easier for you. And we're sending energy to all of you along those lines, everybody involved. It's difficult, but guess what? It's also a beautiful and necessary gift in the experience.
Yeah.
If you could see things from the zoomed out perspective that we see them, you would see that all of the dark and the light parts of every experience create a perfect whole. And if you were to zap out all the dark parts, what you would call the uncomfortable or painful parts or the yucky parts, you wouldn't have a complete picture, and it wouldn't be in balance. So again, when you raise your vibrational state with love, gratitude, forgiveness, joy, playfulness, all of those things, you're able to, you become light. And as you become light, you're able to rise up away from the center of that and see it from a much wider perspective. And you actually do see the gifts in it. And they don't affect it, none of it affects you as much. Again, it's like you're looking out of the visor as an observer, and you're still able to interact with it, but it doesn't affect you unless you allow it to. Okay, that's the key.
Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful. We love you.
Love you.
Mark Valentine, you had your hand up.
Hi, Debs. Hi, Star
Hello.
Teachers.
Hello, beloved. How are you?
Welcome to our solar system and our sun.
It's ours too.
Yeah, and really, we're all star teachers. We
Yes.
just call our star the sun,
Mhm.
and we're all teaching each other. So we're all traveling on the same spaceship.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
just
so-
different layers of being. We're all the same being. We're all the same person, actually.
Yeah, I like what you said in the beginning about when something we experience, it's really a neutral experience. And I like
Yes.
the idea that we assign a value to it, a value judgment, a
Mhm.
good or bad, a plus or a minus. I like to think of them as plus or minus because it really makes it kind of silly in some respects and kind of fun.
Yeah.
And because good and bad have some heavier connotations,
Yeah.
plus and minus to me is lighthearted and an easier thing to think about. Anyway, thank you for sharing. I'm glad to be here and I'm glad to see everybody in this group. So thank
So
you.
wonderful to see you. And we're so glad that that resonated with you. It'll resonate with each person in a different way, perhaps, but we hope that it does resonate with you and you can find it a good tool as far as navigating the waters of experience. By the way, it is Mark included, we want to point out, he's one of the best channelers on the planet right now, very plugged in. There are so many great channels on this channel right now. It's almost like the energy is about to explode everything. So, and so many people with great gifts. And we just thank you again, all of you, for being here. So, thank you for honoring us with your presence and your energy. It feeds us so. I love you so much. Anyone else? There's another cute puppy walking around. It's always funny in these transmissions. This is just me talking and a cute kitty. All the animals come in to everybody's environments when we do these things. It's so funny. Mine's knocking on the door right now. He just wants in, but I locked the door this time because he snores really loudly at these things and is distracting. But thank you for allowing them to join us because their energy is exceptional. They are also teachers. So, well, anyone else have anything to say or add? Wonderful. Well, I guess we'll just wrap it up for that. for now, know that we're going to be encouraging our partner to host these again more, how should we say, in a way that's a little bit more timely. She's been really busy for the last year or so, and it's been really hard to do it for her. So just be looking out for more messages from us, and we will be sending you energy. And remember that we're always working with you. And if you need any help at all, just get in touch with our partner. She will speak for us to you and help you in that way, and help each other. Please help each other. That's how you create us, and that's how we all create the new earth and beyond. So we will give you our thanks now, and we will give you our blessing. We are going to seal all the work that we did together in this session with that golden light. Know that it's always within you, and it is continuing to work inside of you and all around you. And you can share it with anyone just by sending love from your heart to them, as we do to you. And so we say thank you, and in Lakesh, we are the teachers, and we are another you. Well, guys, this is just me. How you doing? I kind of was in and out there a little bit for that last part, but I'm back. So, Sherry Shakti, my Shakti twin, it's so good to see you, sister. Love you. Friends, thank you so much for giving up part of your weekend for this. I really appreciate it. It's brought me such joy. And I love the group energy, as you know, it just feeds my soul. So, Lisa, is it Lisa? Go ahead.
Lisa, but I have a pen named Liza too, and that's for other people to recognize me from. So
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a preference, whichever anybody's comfortable with.
Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you for the lovely birthday wishes.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It was so great. I mean, this is like the second or third time I've got to interact with you this week on different adventures. So thank you.
Yes,
it's been a great week.
I'm not stalking you.
Oh no, I love it. I love it. We just keep bumping up against each other like little protons and electrons. It's wonderful. So
yes. It's been a wonderful birthday.
I'm so glad. Just keep celebrating, sister. Just keep celebrating. Joey, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for scheduling this meeting at a time when I could join you. It's really wonderful to see you again and to receive the blessings of the star teachers. So thank you, Des.
You're
Really
so
appreciate it.
welcome. You know, it's about time they scheduled one where you didn't have to get up at 2:30 in the morning and huddle under a blanket in the dark with us. So we thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's too early, I guess, for the kookaburras, but we've always liked that. You know, when
Wrong
you
time
join
of
us.
year too. We've
Yeah,
just
that's
had-
right. You're in winter. Yeah, you're in winter there. Well, it's lovely to see you, my sister. Thank you for joining us. And I will say to all of you, once I publish the recording, please share it around if you like. You know, because there are other people who might need that experience that we went through with the teachers, the upgrade thing. And you know, and just, you know, if you need anything, always hit me up. I'm going to have some extra, I don't want to say downtime. I don't like that word. I'm going to have some extra non-frenetic activity time here pretty soon. So I'll be very glad to interact with people while I'm taking a short little vacation from physical activity towards the end of the month. So I love just getting back together with you. White Wave is blowing a toot toot horn there and in their window celebrating. Yeah. So anyway, I love all of you so much. Anybody else want to say anything before we ring off?
Blessings, Deb, and I'm wrapping them all around you for the upcoming month.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm actually kind of getting excited for the new adventure. So yeah.
Yay!
And so
That's-
also too, guys, there are a few things that are coming up that you might want to be aware of if you're not already. There is a wonderful CE5 retreat in Bloomington, Indiana. Jeff Becker was on earlier. It's going to be on his property, and he is an amazing CE5 ambassador. He and his wife, Amy. Costa McCrease and Hollis Polk from ET Let's Talk are going to be offering that. There's information about that on my Facebook page, or you can go to ET Let's Talk and look that up. It's July 9th, and I think it goes on for 6 days and nights there. And it is an incomparable retreat if you guys want to get away from it all and have some great ET contact with like-minded souls and great picnic food and all kinds of stuff. And then at the end of August, forgive me, but I think it's like August 25th, 26th. I'll have to look it up again on my page. I'll be collating a beautiful retreat. This time it's contact and consciousness. It's not just CE5. There are many contact modalities. Dan Schrader, who's here with us tonight, is going to be one of our wonderful, he's one of our esteemed videographers. The man has more footage of UFO and paranormal phenomenon than just about anyone I know, and he does extensive analysis of it. He's going to be presenting at our retreat, and he's going to be videoing again, and his energy is so sweet. But we also are going to have a physical medium, Julie Adriani, very famous physical medium, going to be doing seance one night. I'm going to be doing some experiential quantum immersion stuff. Kimberly Porth, some of you may know her. She's one of my besties. She's going to be doing a lot of Kundalini breath work and yoga and CE5. She's a great CE5 ambassador too. Melissa Kane, it's going to be at Big Arb in Wisconsin at her resort, the one that was in our movie, Alien Abduction Answers. She's going to be offering rapé and cacao ceremonies. So we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff there this summer, at the end of summer. So if you have an interest in finding out, just hit me up and I'll be glad to send you information on those two things. So anyway, I hope you can join us. I love you all. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I just appreciate you so much for being here with me. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the heart, Jesse. And until next time, much love in Lakesh. Bye, everyone.